Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Cohen, and I'm going to be your instructor for this very quick Maymester course. I'm a little bit biased, obviously, but I think if you're going to take a Maymester course, this is the one that you want to take. It is, I can't remember, it's motion picture appreciation, which is the same as film appreciation with maybe a little bit of TV in there. It's really nice because, these Maymester classes go really quickly, and although we're going to have a lot of lectures and you're going to have to like listen to my voice like you're doing right now, there's also a lot of movie watching, which is, something to make the time go a little bit quicker. So this video hopefully will also go pretty quick. All I really want to do is hit the highlights of the syllabus. I assume that you can read most of it yourself, and there's a syllabus quiz that you're going to need to take. Technically, you don't have to take it until the end of the first week of class, but honestly, just do it sooner rather than later because it'll, get you in your headspace for this class a little more quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. Um, okay, hopefully you can see that. And if you can't, I can't tell. We'll just roll with it. Okay, so this is the version of the syllabus that you have posted on eCampus. Like I said, I want you to go through it, just, peruse it yourself. I think really the thing you're going to be most interested in and that you'll refer to the most is at the end here, which is this tentative topic and quiz schedule. And what I want to point out here is I have everything organized where if you wanted to, you could do this whole class on like a day by day type of thing. So I have these like suggested um, topics and stuff. So it's like, okay, if you're getting into it today, the first thing, or okay, and today is Monday, May the 11th. This is all the stuff that you would want to do for that day, right? But if you're getting into it, maybe on Thursday, then what that means, of course, is that you'll have to go back and do all of these other things from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but it's really up to you. I wanted to give you a suggestion of how to parcel it out, but you can go at your own pace. With one exception, I do set firm deadlines for each week. I don't want anybody to try to attempt to do this entire class like all 3 weeks within a day. So the only sort of caveat is if you have this week one right here, all that needs to be finished by the end of this week, Sunday, 11 at 11:59 p.m. And everything in week two needs to be finished by the next Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And the only exception to the Sunday rule, usually everything's due on Sunday. All of the quizzes, which I'll talk about in a second, anything you're supposed to turn in terms of like a writing assignment, all of that's going to be due on Sundays. The only catch is, for whatever reason, I don't understand, they're ending Maymester on Friday. So that last week is going to be cut short 2 days. But I don't think it's going to make a huge difference because, again, if you look at this, it's basically like you've got 4 days of content and then one day to work on a project. 4 days of content, one day to work on a project. And the same goes for that last week too, 4 days and then, one day to work on a project. The only difference is you can't pull it into the weekend, but some of you might not want to do that anyway. So, okay, so that's the general structure of the course. Now let's just talk about those specific, well, okay, actually, let me go back. Let's start at the beginning. Again, I don't want to cover everything and bore you, but first of all, two important things about course materials. You don't have to buy anything for this class. Nothing. Zilch. All of the films we're going to watch three of them. So it's like each week there's a film that's sort of associated with the different content that we're covering. But there are, if you look back on that schedule I just showed you, there's going to be a lot of video essays you watch. There's a lot of YouTube videos, so like films about film that you're also going to have to watch in lieu of reading. I do have suggested readings. There's a textbook for this class, but it's open source, which means it's free. You can access it online. It did help me structure the course and figure out what to cover, but I've tried to make this where if you're not really into reading, you could probably you should be able to get away without doing any reading. What you should, again, you won't be able to get away without watching things though. I have video lectures and they're a little bit better than this because they have PowerPoint slides with them. I would recommend watching those, and then I would recommend, of course, watching any video essays that I assign because that's what your quizzes are on. But basically, your quizzes are all on eCampus. So you just can open that up and then be watching the videos and answering the questions as you go through. It is It is not designed to give you 100% automatically, but if you pay attention to the content, it's not designed to be difficult either. So the points are easy if you just, take your time and watch all the stuff I give you. Now, as for the movies, those are really easy to find too. We have a wonderful e-reserves or course reserves that the library puts together. And so all those films are there. You just got to log in with your WVU ID and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, like I said, you've got basically for each little day or unit of content, you're going to watch those video essays. Maybe you're going to be watching a movie and then a video lecture. And by the way, on eCampus, you can see I have like little objectives for each lesson, so you can cross it off your list if you want. And yeah, so you gotta do those. Basically, those quizzes are the evidence that you've covered the material you're supposed to cover. So you do all those. But here's another good piece of news. I'm gonna be offering 12 quizzes throughout the semester, not including the syllabus quiz, but I'm only going to take your 10 highest grades. So let's say that you actually don't do as well as you like on a quiz because you were rushing through it. Again, I don't think anything's really hard, but I know that not everybody always has all the time to do everything. Well, I'm going to drop your two lowest grades if you do all of the quizzes. But let's also say that you do 10 quizzes and you get 10 out of 10 on them. That means that technically you don't have to do the last two quizzes if you don't want to. So there's some flexibility there. If you add this class late, which sometimes people do, or maybe you um, forgot that you registered and you figure that out later, that also happens, and you miss a couple of quizzes or something, it's not the end of the world. There is some wiggle room there. But my recommendation would be like try to hit all of them, and then you'll have some flexibility at the end of the semester to decide what you want to do. And then the only other type of assignment that you have in here are these show and tell analyses. It's show and tell because you post it on the discussion board where other people can, if they want, read them and watch a little clip that you post. And basically, the whole idea is you're supposed to apply some course concepts that you've learned for that unit to talk about your own example. And I have very detailed instructions on how to do this on eCampus. I encourage you to read those instructions because like one of the things is like don't use AI. I mean, you can use it, but make sure it doesn't do any writing for you. And one of the ways that I am able to tell when people use AI usually is because they're not following the instructions. Because it's really hard to get AI to do all the things that I'm looking for. You really are better off just like trying to do it on your own. Like I think it would actually save you time. So make sure you check those out. The idea is to incorporate vocabulary, and I even have a vocabulary list posted on eCampus. And you want to boldface these words. Again, it's a lot of instructions to have AI do it. Just do it on your own. I'm not a stickler for like fancy writing or anything like that. I'm just looking for evidence of learning, and these shouldn't take very long. Once again, though, another piece of good news is that there's some flexibility here. So let's just go back down to this tentative schedule. Um, so that's what's due here at each Sunday, right? So I give you Friday to work on it, and then it's due on those Sundays. But you'll see, so at the end of Unit 1, you have one of these due. You got to post it on the discussion board. Same with Unit 2, and then the last week of class as well. But just like the quizzes, I'm not going to count all of those grades. I'm going to only take your best two out of three. So if you do two and you like your grade on those, you don't even have to do a third, which could, like I said, make your last week a breeze because then you would only have to do like one quiz that week, or no, sorry, two quizzes that week, and then you're done, right? If you keep up and you do everything else you're supposed to do. Or again, let's say you don't get a grade that you like on your second show and tell, no problem. Just do the third one, and then when I'm calculating grades, I'll, only take your best two out of three. So again, lots of flexibility in this class, but you do have to be kind of self-motivated. It's an online class. We don't meet. It's really fast. It's May. Everybody wants to like go and do other things. I get it, but I really do hope that you find that this class can be accommodating to lots of different schedules and priorities. And yeah, that's it. So you can see like that's the point system, 10 quizzes. And actually, I think I just realized was incorrect. I was confused with another class. So your syllabus quiz counts as one of those quizzes. So I'm actually offering 13 quizzes, which means that there are three that you can miss, including the syllabus quiz. Ha, more flexible than I even remembered. But that's it. Your whole semester is based on how well you do on these quizzes, which are on eCampus, and they're multiple choice questions, true, false, a little bit of like short answer, like short essay, nothing like too extensive. And then you got to do at least two of these film scene analysis show and tell posts. And like I said, they're not difficult, but I think the hardest thing is to make sure that you're following all the instructions and including everything I want. But if you do that, um, you're home free. Like this class really isn't really complicated, and hopefully it'll be very enjoyable. The movies that we watch are The Shining, which people always get nervous about, but I just want to sort of, get it out there that it is a horror film, but it's psychological horror, so it's not a gory type of thing. I've never had students that have any sort of like issue with it, so don't worry about that. The second film, a lot of people have not seen. It's a much more bizarre thing from the early 2000s when everything was really meta, called Adaptation. And then finally, we're going to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. And frankly, even if you get done with most of your course content and maybe you can kind of slack off on some of that, I highly recommend that movie if you haven't seen it. That's one that gets rave reviews from all of my students. So it's just a good watch, and we have it posted for free now since you're taking this class. All right, that's it. I don't know how long that took, probably longer than I wanted. That is a theme with me, but I will stop now, just so long as you know that if you have any questions, obviously my email's here. I prefer you just email me directly instead of going through eCampus, but I'll respond to anything. I'm really good at my email. So I look forward to the next 3 weeks with you. All right, bye.